Welcome to Hook, Line and Sinker's Road Trip Australia, the show about two men, a fishing rod and a clapped-out Commodore.
6 states, 15,000 clicks and some of the best fishing anywhere in the country.
This week the road trip leaves the mainland behind, destination Tasmania. Have a look at that. That's some sort of trevally, probably a turrum.
That's a good fish. Cobia. Are you awake yet, Nick? All right, folks, welcome to the Apple Isle. It's a blue sky, it's sunny, it's warm, and Nick, I have a feeling it's gonna be fishy.
I hope you're right, Andrew. We've survived the mountainous seas from Sydney down through Bath Strait on the old Spirit of Tasmania. Terribly sturdy vessel.
That was really enjoyable.
But first of all, I guess Tasmania is famous for a couple of things, apples being one, the other is trout.
Exactly.
And we've got a guy who knows a lot about trout. Is the Tasmanian trout fishing champion, no less.
Well, we need all the help we can get, Nick, so let's hit the road from Devonport.
Yes.
And we're going to a place called Queenstown.
Apparently the Queen will be there.
Queenstown, or Queenie to the locals, is on the rugged west coast of Tasmania. It's not the end of the world, but on a good day they reckon you can see it from here.
Queenie's claim to fame is that nothing grows here. Acid spewing out of the mines has killed all the trees, even the grass. Beautiful, isn't it? All right, ladies and gents, this primordial foggy place is Lake Burberry near Queenstown on Tasmania's west coast, and this is none other than Joe Riley. He is a member of the Australian fly fishing team, the member of the Tasmanian fly fishing champion. Joe, it's good to have someone of your calibre on our program. Welcome.
Thanks, Nick. Good to be here.
Now, mate, tell us the story. This is wind lane fishing, and it's sort of one of the it's a bit of a trout fishing phenomenon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, wind lane fishing. There's a lot of fish get into the slicks of the morning.
Yep.
Andrew's just having a crack at one now.
Yes.
And it's fishing where you've got to be pretty spot on to be in the money. But there's a lot of fish here at Burberry, so we should do all right.
The theory is that the wind concentrates areas of food.
Yep, spot on.
Fish find that food and they're just up in there going nuts.
Yeah, it's a good rule where the food is, the fish are.
Yes.
And when you get all the food pushed together in a flat bit of water, fish everywhere.
All right, well, rainbow trout is hopefully on the menu today. And Andrew Hart, not a bad fly fisherman. Joe, a champion. Me, bit crap.
We'll see.
Don't talk yourself down.
I'm talking myself up.
No, you'll be right.
Yeah.
And there's another one just up here, Nick, as well. Straight off the front of the boat now.
Yeah.
Coming towards us, I'll crack it in.
I'll crack it this
Just stop for the minute.
Yep. Still there, Hardy?
Yeah.
That's pretty on the money.
You're on the money, you reckon, Joe?
I'm close to it, yep.
Oh, and Hart's on the
he's
money.
spooked.
Right, this is what wind lane fishing is about. We've got about 3 fish here in front of us. And you've just got to keep casting at them, don't you, Joe? Because
Yeah, you've got to get it in front of their nose because they're right on the surface, they can't see very far. So you've got to get it right in line with them.
they can't see very far, but you can't get very close to them.
They are
Another
towing.
fish up here.
Okay, this is more like it.
Very spooky.
Where's he gone?
One of the most frustrating things you can do in fishing, there is a lot of fish bubbling up. You can actually see a little scum line, which is a real concentration of food, and there are fish. Probably
that is so close.
40 fish just rising here. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. But getting them to take the fly...
Well, they're stupid.
Supposedly they're stupid.
Well, they're more stupid than us, aren't they?
Either they're stupid or we are.
Well, no, they're stupid.
Well, that's a nice cast, Andrew.
Because
Just leave it static.
they're rainbows,
Yes.
and rainbows have no predictability about
A
them.
rainbow trout from New Zealand.
Probably. Probably. But what I'm trying to say, Nick,
Yeah. Look at these fish here.
if these were browns,
Yeah.
they'd go along on a beat. Oh, that's such a close cast. They'd go along just tap, tap, tap.
Do you mind if I steal your fish, Andrew?
There's 4 of them there, Joe. So.
But the rainbow, no sort
rainbow?
of pattern.
Just You
Just hold still for a second, Andrew.
Try
He's
and get it in
predictable.
front of them. Sorry, Joe gets quite excited when it comes to fishing.
He's a champion, Joe.
I know you're giving good
He is
commentary there,
champion.
but
Anyway, rainbow's stupid. That's why we can't catch them.
Any fish you can't catch.
it's stupid fish.
Right, get away from my fish, Joe.
Okay,
You may be a champion.
I'm not a champion at the moment, am I? I'm not a champion at the moment, am I?
This is a good fish, Joe.
That's
This
on the
is a
money.
Good fish. Here he comes. Here he comes. He couldn't not eat that shore.
Got it!
And he spat it
Got
out.
it. He got it. Now, if you want to
don't normally do
exercise
that.
in frustration, Joe, this is about as good as it gets.
This is, yeah, it's tough now. And when they do that to you, it's heartbreaking.
Ooh.
Come on, come on, come on.
That's on the money.
That's it. Come on.
Fuck me.
15 fish there!
Got a fish! Have we got a fish, Joe?
We've got a fish.
Oh,
The work's put into that
praise.
fella.
There was a
Praise.
dozen fish in that school.
We've used our stealth and our
And he's a nice fish too.
a nice fish. I love it when there's a nice fish on. It makes it so much work, so much better.
Betterer.
It's so much better when there's a fish.
Oh,
And-
this is frustrating fishing.
It can be the most frustrating
this.
fishing
This is a
you'll
nice
do.
little
You'll
fish.
see hundreds of moving fish, but unless you put it within an inch of them,
All right, there he is, Joseph, and that's one of your pet rainbows out of
they
Lake
are
Burberry.
beautiful fish.
Now, when you see them rising, you just see a little tiny snout. You don't think they're decent fish, but they're not bad, are they?
Yeah, you don't get an idea of the size because all they're doing is sticking like not even a centimetre of their nose out of the water, and the rest of the fish is under. But he's, you know, he's a 2-pound fish,
He's a beautiful fat little fish.
Very nice.
and they're all wild in here. There's no stocking at all. There's heaps of good spawning for them. It's one of the few good rainbow waters we've got that just has wild rainbows.
Oh, there he is.
Look at that. A wild rainbow, which is a bit of an exception to the rule in Tasmania. I guess more famous for its brown trout, Joe.
Yeah, it's usually pretty well browns. We've got rainbows about, but this is one of the really good places where
Yep.
you get wild rainbows.
And Lake Burberry is a young lake. It's it's only sort of how old?
They're about 13 years old now. It was a good mud-eye water to start with when they first stocked it, but it's turned into a really good midge fishery now.
There's your fish, rainbow trout.
Wild fish.
Now, he was in a school of fish. He
Yeah.
was in a school of a dozen fish, wasn't he?
Yeah, they will feed in a big patch and they'll move along together feeding. If you spook one of them, they're gone.
And you've got to get that fly
Just right.
Right in front.
here.
Yep, literally.
There you
So
go.
much food in the water.
Good work, boys.
Well done, we'll put him
Great
back.
stuff.
Lake Burberry can probably lay claim to being Australia's best wild rainbow trout water. When the fish are on the go at Lake Burberry, catches into the 20s are not uncommon.
Late summer to early autumn is the best time to give it a whirl. The scenery is nothing short of spectacular.
Stick with us after the break. The big penguin gets the road trip treatment.
Then it's off to Hobart for the biggest, baddest bream in the land. All right, we're talking tackle now on hook, line and sinker thanks to Spot On the Fishing Connection. This is Tom Crawford from Spot On here in Hobart, one of the gurus down here in the south. Tom, today we're talking about the Stinson range of reels which are exclusive to Spot On tackle stores.
Yeah, these reels are called the Stinsons. They're made by Akuma,
Yep.
which is one of the up-and-coming brands in Australia at the moment. Has 6 bearings in it, plus 1 anti-reverse bearing. Really great reel for around about $100.
So 6 bearings, very smooth operation. It's got a patented oscillation system. We won't go into that. It's very, very complicated, but it's a good reel. And these things, how many in the range?
You're looking at 4 different ones, right from the smallest ones, what you're holding there, right up to the big 80, which I've got here. This one would be sort of around trout, that sort of style of thing. This one's sort of for a bit of surf fishing, maybe a bit of bottom fishing with some bigger fish.
So the Stinsons, they come with an exclusive 5-year warranty. Take that, 5 years, and they're available, of course, at your local Spot On store.
Australia's Big Things, brought to you by Southern Cross Telco. The next big thing for all your home and business communication needs.
Big things time now. The quest for big things goes on, and this is Andrew, without a word of a lie, the big penguin here, the town of Penguin on Tasmania's north coast.
I believe you, Nick.
Yes.
I believe you. Look at it. Now, Penguin is called Penguin
Yes.
because of all the fairy penguins that come ashore here. There's heaps of them out there. Nice spot, Penguin.
Apparently, another interesting fact about Penguin, it's the only town in the world that has that name, Penguin.
Okay, the big penguin is a cheerful enough character, but on the scale, he falls a bit short. 3 out of 10.
Realism is okay, though we're not sure a real penguin would let a seagull take a dump on its head. A score of 6.
Good marks for value adding. The big penguin has spawned not only rubbish bins, souvenirs and cafes, but an entire town has sprung up to pay tribute. We'll give it 7 out of 10.
For a total score of 16.
Did you know Southern Cross Telco and Mobile rewards its customers with loyalty programs and personal account managers?
From Queenstown, we pointed the mighty Commodore south to the Tasmanian state capital, Hobart.
Settled by English criminals in the early 1800s, Hobart is mostly famous now for being a bit cold.
The River Derwent runs right through the middle of town and is the setting for our continuing road trip adventure.
All right, we've made it onto the river, and this is our guide for the day, Tom Crawford, who's one of the guys at Spot On here in Hobart. Tom, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, mate, you say that this river that we're on at the moment is the best bream fishery anywhere in the country. That's a huge claim to make.
It is a huge claim to make, but the Derwent certainly produces some of the largest bream in the country, if not the largest.
Now, that's all very well to have big bream, but are there a few of them? Are we in with a shot of catching a fish?
I'd be very surprised today if we don't catch at least 5 fish, all up around at least a minimum of 36 centimetres.
36 centimetres, that's a pretty good bream in most people's language, Tom.
On the mainland, that's considered quite a good bream. Down here, it's a very average one.
It's pretty arrogant considering the company you're in.
That's it.
Righto, Tom, you have hooked one, mate. The first fish of the day, the first Derwent River Derwent, in fact.
Oh, nice fish, nice fish.
Look at this. This is just a nice little fish down here.
Yeah, nice way to start the day.
It's actually not such a little fish. People, I guess, bream fishing's gone ballistic everywhere.
Yeah, certainly in the last 2 years in Tasmania in particular, it's gone quite well, but nationally, bream fishing is quite a popular sport.
And that's not a bad little bream on the soft plastic, Tom. Now, we're fishing around structure today.
Oh,
Yeah,
in fact, we just hit some of
We
it.
just hit the structure. That's how close to the structure you have to be. This is not our boat. That's all right, though. We'll put this bloke back. Now, how big's he?
he's only a small fella. He's probably roughly about 36 centimetres to the fork.
36 centimetres. He's a small fella.
He is a small fella.
We're
But not everywhere, Tom. Let's be frank. We were in the Tweed River not that long ago, Andrew, and that would have been a very, very nice fish out of
It
the
would have
Tweed.
been a stonker, guys.
Yeah.
No, we are talking about Australia's biggest bream that we're fishing for today. Oh, now he was right in tight. Tight. I got in tight, Tom. And I didn't even wind my lure in. It was just falling through the water. And he nutted it. He nailed it. I don't think it's a huge 40 centimetre bream,
Oh, it's still fighting quite well though.
but it's a bream.
It is a bream.
Now, take us through the keys for soft plasticking for bream.
Well, in an estuary sort of like this, or in an area where we're fishing along like a big wall bank or anything like that,
Oh, he's a good fish,
he's
huh?
quite a good fish. What we're trying to do is get our lures in nice and close to the rock walls or any man-made structure like that.
Yep.
Let the lure drop down, give it a couple of jigs as it hits towards the bottom.
Fish.
And there's plenty of man-made structure in the Derwent.
Definitely in the Derwent. So brim's a species that you can catch in a lot of different spots. They'll hide up in man-made structure, big drop-offs, which we might try and have a bit of a fish for today.
Let's get him out and have a look at him. There's the lure, that fell out of his mouth.
He's a little bit bigger than yours, I think, Tom, isn't he?
He is a little bit bigger than mine.
Guesstimation of size?
Roughly about 39 centimetres.
39, Andrew. It's close to the
39.
magical 40. Once we get 40, we go home. You understand that?
That's it. We've caught 2 fish in about 10 minutes. This is pretty good fishing, it has to be said.
It does have to be said. And any particular lures you like, Tom? Any sort of colours? What sort of colours if you had to pick 2?
Oh, probably I'd be going something in the dark green.
Dark green?
Nice natural sort of colours.
Yep.
Also pumpkin seeds are really, really colour, which is a brownie sort of colour.
That's pumpkin seed right there.
What Andrew's just got this fish on.
Righto, we'll chuck him back in. I'm due, I reckon.
That's a fish producing cast, Tom.
That's what we're hoping. Oh, got him.
Yes! I told you it was a fish producing cast. Again, tight in on that wall. Brim?
Definitely a brim, yeah.
Definitely a brim, Tom
Definitely a
says.
brim.
You're
Good
a bit
work,
of a gun
Tom.
at this, aren't you? You're a bit of a gun. The Derwent River is your playground.
As such.
Come on, talk yourself up.
This is he's toweling you up, Tom. I think he got a look at you and figured he could probably do you.
Oh. Didn't do a very good net job there, Tom. He's, he's over 30 though, isn't he?
He's be roughly about a 38.
38.
No,
38. 36, Tom. But
Turn it up.
I guess what we're trying to say is that these are the average run of fish. That's only an average fish. It's not a big fish. We haven't caught other smaller fish and only showing you the big fish. That's just average.
No, that is very average fish. Hopefully we'll get into a
That's
few bigger
very
ones.
average.
That's very average. That's hopeless. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what's pretty hopeless.
Right, you're finished, Tom.
Yeah, off the
out.
boat, Tom.
Yeah.
Swim home.
Thanks for everything. See you.
Nice fish. Oh, he's getting me under the bridge. This is a big fish.
Big fish?
This is a big fish. This is a big brim. This is the brim of the day.
Let's hope. Oh, Andrew, he's toweling you up
I'm
though.
going to catch this brim. He was right in hard on the pylon of the Bowen Bridge, Nick. Oh, and this is a good fish.
Right, well,
this is a
just
heavy fish.
endeavour
I
to
don't know
get
how big
out
this
of
fish
there
is.
for you.
Now, just watch we don't run into the pylon too, Tom.
Yeah, we've got a few
That's all right.
issues here. Just
Good fish. Now, I felt he actually hit that, missed it, and I felt it hit through the line.
and he's come back.
I left it
I'll
there.
just give you a bit of a push off here so
And
as
I'll
we
net
don't
him.
crash. Interesting to note along here though, on the edge of this pylon, is mussels and barnacles and crustaceans and whatever you like. And that's the reason that the brim are here, because they spend their days just munching down on that sort of stuff.
This is a plus 40 brim.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Don't
Oh!
lose him, Tommy. This is my biggest brim by a mile.
What are you saying, PB, are you?
PB, this is my PB.
PB.
This
I'd say
brim's-
44.
This brim's 44.
Ooh.
PB, they don't get bigger than this brim. This is a thumping great big brim.
Whew.
Oh, now.
Okay.
Get him in the net, Tommy. Get him in the net, Tommy.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Nice brim.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
A horse. That's a super brim.
That's a good fish. How big?
That'd be roughly 44, maybe even 45.
Oh,
That's a stonker.
he was only just hooked.
Ooh, well done, Hardy.
He was only just.
Just about to crash again.
Don't crash.
Stand by.
That is a magnificent fish. How old is that fish?
You'd probably say around about 30 years old.
30 years
Brim
old.
do grow really slow, and that's just a beautiful fish.
We put them back in the Derwent because they're not much good eating out of here anyway.
They're not the best eating, plus you know it's a fish been in the Derwent for 30 years, so
Yeah, that's right. Got the blue nose
You
on
can
him.
see his little teeth there,
Yeah.
designed for
Crushing.
crushing up mussels and bits and pieces.
You wouldn't put your finger in there because it would hurt.
Put your tongue in there.
That's a magnificent fish. The Derwent River, folks. Oh, I think it's good.
It's very
I'm
good.
a big fan of this. This is sensational. And he fought too.
Oh,
I'm on. I don't know.
Oh,
Yes,
that's the
I think
sound
it
we
is a
like,
brim.
Andrew. This is Cadbury factory.
You can actually smell
The chocolate.
the chocolate in the air.
They're pumping it out up there. Pure chocolate they pump
Oh,
into
it's
the
a
dew.
good fish.
Good fish.
Good fish. This has been a hot little
It's just
morning on the dew, eh?
fantastic, isn't it?
Isn't it? Tom, you were sort of a bit worried, it's fair to say, because the brim have been quiet of late.
Yeah,
But we have come out here and slayed them.
certainly in the last month or so, you find that a lot of the brim have sort of gone further upstream to spawn. But I think we've come out on a good day.
We have come out on a good day, mate. They must have finished spawning and now they're feeding. Pop him in the net. Let's have another look at him. They are just a big fish. Every one you get out of here is just a big, fat, fit-looking fish. Look at that. Beautiful fish. What do you reckon, Nick,
I
about the
think
Derwent?
the Derwent is magnificent, Andrew, and you should definitely come and live here.
Yeah.
You should come and fish here. It's very, very, very good.
The Derwent is fast gaining a reputation among hardcore lure tossers as Australia's premier big brim fishery.
Late spring and early autumn are the best times to try your luck. And if you need a base for your Hobart stay, we can highly recommend the multi-award-winning Old Wool Store Apartment Hotel.
Right in the heart of Hobart, historic waterfront, the Old Wool Store has the works. Check it out online at oldwoolstore.com.au.
You got one, Nick.
Finally,
Be
Andrew.
excited.
I'm extremely excited because
It's taken you a
I
little
tell you
while.
what, it's very, very off-putting to have to sit around and
Yes.
watch you catch fish.
I've caught 5. 5, including 2 over 40. Tom's caught 4. But you're doing well.
Look, thank you very much. I had to slavishly follow you, and that's what's upset me the most. I had to go for the same lure that Andrew had on. I had to swallow my pride and change my lure.
This is not a bad fish.
No, of course it's not. It's a big fish.
It's big fish. It is a big fish.
It is a big fish. Of course it's a big fish. It's a Derwent River fish, Hardy. And they're all big.
They are all massive, aren't they?
Actually, that's not a bad fish.
Not a bad fish. It's not 44.
No, it's not 44, but look,
It's a 40.
it's a 40.
Good fish.
It's a 40.
It's a 40.
And that, anywhere else in the country, is the brim of a lifetime. Today, unfortunately, it's running a dismal third, but I'll take it.
Well, you've probably just caught a bigger brim than 95% of brim fishermen in Australia.
There you go. There you go.
Pretty good fish. Pretty good fish.
You are a good fish, and I thank you for your patience and your indulgence.
Can we finally go home now?
We can go home now.
All right. We'll have more of Hook, Line and Sinker's Road Trip Australia next week.
The Tasmanian leg of our adventure gets hot and heavy. There's canoodling on the South-Esk River.
And then mixing it up with the big boys off the continental shelf, all when Hook, Line and Sinker's Road Trip Australia rolls on next week.